So they know a lot about happiness, these two. Yeah. So
Thank
David
you. We like being
Howard
down.
has been a student with the Brahma Kumaris for 25 years. So just when we got the retreat center going, David, I came in the door. He regularly teaches classes on meditation and spiritual awareness at the Brahma Kumari Meditation Museums in the Washington area. David, but he has another life. David currently coordinates information technology for the Office of the Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development in Washington, D.C., supporting a staff of 90. Now, it says you currently do this. How long have you currently been doing this?
Well, various things in the mayor's or in the deputy mayor's office for the same length of time, 25 years.
25 years.
25 years ago was really
That was a
significant
big
time
day.
for me. Yeah.
It was a big moment. 1999? Great. He also manages high school internships at the deputy mayor's office and was chosen as mentor of the year by the Urban Alliance in 2016. Wow, congratulations for that. That's big. You must be kind of loving, is that right? As
It's
well
my
as happy.
favorite part of my job is coordinating the internships. It's
See?
a small portion of my job, but
That's
it's a
very nice. So you're
favorite
happy
part.
and loving. And he began his career in the mayor's office in 1999 and has worked for the last 4 administrations. So you don't care if you work for any party, right? It's not a party thing for you.
Well, in Washington, it's all the same party.
It's the same.
Yeah, it is.
Government party, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is Sabita Geer. Sabita has been practicing and teaching Raja Yoga meditation for over 45 years. Doesn't look like she could be that old, does it? I know, she started as a child. Her spiritual journey started in Guyana. Anyone here from Guyana? Uh-huh. We always have a lot of people from Guyana. I've been, you know. I was so curious. I knew so many people. I went down to take a look. Her spiritual journey started in Guyana and she's visited many countries and accumulated a wide range of experiences, but currently she's representing us at the United Nations. The Brahma Kumaris has a long 40-year plus relationship as an NGO with the United Nations, and that's what Sabita does now at our UN office, which is right next to the UN Plaza. So today the topic is happiness. I think they'll take questions at the end, right?
In between.
In between and at the end. And
You're
in the
okay to be
beginning.
interrupted as well? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right. So if you have an urgent question on happiness, you ask, and they'll make some time at the end. This is about a 30-minute experience, all right? Enjoy.
You won't be interrupting because we will
Now
be
hold your
asking
mic right next to
questions.
your mouth. I might trade mics with you. I'm not sure that yours
And
is.
yeah,
Is that good enough? Can you hear?
no, I was just saying that you won't be interrupting because we will be asking you questions.
Yes. Is that okay? We thought just to have a conversation with you about happiness, because you probably somewhere deep in there you have an understanding of what the science of happiness is. But we wanted to have a conversation with you today about that. And I think that the Sabita man had a question to ask you to start with.
Yeah, as Judy said, congratulations for coming out today on such a kind of a gloomy day, but it's turning out to be beautiful. Our question to you is, if time or money was no object, where would you be today? Right here. We thought that that might
Right
be your
answer.
answer. Otherwise, why would you come with all the rain? So congratulations.
Anyone else? If time and money were unlimited for you, you know, no object, what would you be doing right now?
Other than being here today at the beach.
At the beach, yeah.
Right, just sit here, flying in the sky. Yes, at the back. Traveling.
Yeah.
Yes. Just being free, no worry, no concern. So why can't we be like that every day? Does time and money control all of that? Does it? Really? Really? So this is what we want to talk about today.
So, really, for you, what do you think is at the foundation of happiness? What is it at the foundation of happiness for you? Is we ever find that we lose our happiness? That our happiness is elusive, that things happen in our lives and our happiness goes away? Or is happiness about something internal? Is it really dependent on things outside ourselves? What would you say is at the foundation of happiness for you? Inner peace. Well, where does that come from? From inside? Yeah. Are we always connected with that inner peace? No. And why did we lose that connection? Distractions. You know, that was a very good answer. It's distractions. Think illusions. Who said illusions? Illusions, yeah. Desires, yeah. What?
Our thoughts.
Thoughts. Thoughts.
One
Thoughts.
answer from here.
The thoughts.
Desires.
Thoughts,
Wants.
yeah.
So
You know, go ahead.
we're having a nice long list of what takes our happiness away. And now that we know what takes our happiness away, what are we going to do? Are we going to sit down and allow these things to take our happiness away? So what are we going to do? What are we going to do, Brother David?
Well, I have a question to ask all of you. Um, and I think it really gets to the root of what is at the foundation of our happiness. If, let's say, you were standing out on, maybe not here at Peace Village, but maybe at in your neighborhood, and you were interviewing your neighbors, and you were asking them this question: at its essence, at its deepest essence, what is your deepest desire? What do you want most in your life? What kind of answers do you think you would hear from your neighbors? What kind of answers would they give you? Peace. I think peace would definitely be one of the most common answers. Any others? Health, health. I think health is a big one. What was that, Deepak? I didn't hear.
$10 million.
Oh, $10 million. Okay. All right. I think you're exactly right, though. I think a lot of people would give a materialistic answer like that. But as the interviewer, you're there to drill it down with them. And health as well. Why do you want to have wealth or health? What what is it the essence of that desire? And I think if you drill it down with them, it is about peace and happiness. I think that those are the deepest desires that we all have. But there might be even a deeper desire.
Yeah, because I would like to add that even if you do win that or you earned or whatever that $10 million, what you going to do with it will be actually the reason for your happiness or sorrow. You know, is that because we can't live life without these physical things, right? We need these things. We have a physical body, and so we need, as they say, basic needs: food, clothes, and housing. So these things are definitely needed. Um, but as you all said, you know, the things that you all said that take our happiness away, really, they're not bad things, are they? Can you live without your relatives? You lose them and you're
Sometimes.
devastated. Yeah? Can we live without a job? Can we live
Sometimes.
sometimes? Yeah, it's toxic relationships. That's very true. But you understand what I'm saying, right? We need each other, right? We need a job, we need a house, we need all these things. So these things are not bad, actually. So what really is the problem that takes our happiness away? Sorry? Loss of balance, okay. Worry, hmm? Communication. Good communication, bad communication. Will be no communication, right? Disobedience. Can you say some more? Disobedience? Disobeying the inner voice. Very good. Very nice. And something on this side?
Attachment's a big one, yeah.
Attachment. Desire. Somebody said it's the main one.
Sabita, and what do we mean when we say attachment?
Just that. I'm so attached, like a parasite, that we just suck their energy out. You know what parasites do? They attach, right? And they draw all power or strength or goodness out of that thing. For what purpose? For their own survival, isn't it? That's what attachment does. It's not love. When we are attached to someone or something, we cling to them. Right? We cling to them, we hold on to them in such a way that we draw from them their, their essence of who they are. And we now identify ourselves with who they are. So I've also lost my own essence. Very scary, very powerful. But we do it. We do it. And then, when they don't fulfill, but this is where the problem is. Attaching is one story. Then when they don't meet our requirements and our expectations, then what happens? Jealousy, disappointments, right? Then the sorrow comes in all different forms. So is it a good thing or to attach, or is it better to love them for who they are so that you can love yourself for who you are, or maybe the other way around? I love myself for who I am so I can love and accept the other for who they are. What do you say, Brother David?
I think it's very true. And I'm glad you said this word love, though, because I think really, if we understand what love really is and understand the power of that energy, we are understanding what our deepest desire really is. And it's not about something external to ourselves, it's about experiencing the truth of ourselves. We asked earlier what you think the deepest desire is, people would say. And happiness and peace were two of the most common ones they would say. I want to be happy, I want to be peaceful. But I think there is a deeper desire that underlines happiness and peace, and that's to experience ourselves as a being of love. And I think that really is at the foundation of peace and happiness. And it's not about experiencing something from the world around us. It's about experiencing the truth of ourselves. And if we can experience ourselves as a loving being in our interaction with the world around us and ourselves, we can be happy. And what does that look like? When we talk about love in this way, what love is respect, love is regard, love is appreciation, love is compassion and understanding. Love is patience and cooperation. Love is acceptance. This is love. And when we let those qualities be at the foundation of our thinking, we are happy. We are fulfilling our deepest desire. And we have that choice in any second, in any moment. We can choose to think from a place of love. But it's not easy, is it? Because we've all been on this journey and we have all these experiences from this journey that influence how we react to situations. So how can we be more of a master of our thinking? How can we strengthen ourselves so we can choose what's at the foundation of our thoughts? So many of you said it's about thoughts, and it is. How can we strengthen ourselves? Sabita, how can we strengthen ourselves so we have more power to choose the thoughts that we want to have and base those thoughts in the truth of our loving self? Yeah.
I would suggest something. I would suggest that we remember today and being under that big tent out there, that Mother Nature, as much as kind of, tested us, our tolerance and patience, we made it happen. We're all under that tent out there. And we've had many moments of peace, of pause. I'm assuming maybe most of you probably visited most of the areas, the spaces under the big tent out there, on the big marquee. And if you haven't yet, please do so. And I'm going to especially invite you to the UN booth because we have a peace bell there. And every time you feel that I'm going to say something that I might not be the best thing to say, or I'm hearing somebody's name and it is just turning everything sour in my stomach, remember that peace bell. Remember the moment when you rang that peace bell for peace. And tell yourself, that's it. Remember that moment and allow whatever it is to shift inside yourself. Take a deep breath. Some of you would have attended the breathing booth also. Take a deep breath and let that energy of peace go inside. It won't take seconds, It took me about 2 minutes to say all of this, but it only takes 1 second to do it.
Yes.
And amazingly, the thing starts, instead of going in this direction, it starts going the other direction, down spiral, and it goes down. You relax, and guess what? The situation is still there waiting for you to deal with it. It didn't go anywhere. Even if you took half an hour or 24 hours, it is still waiting there for you to deal with it. But there are instances when we don't have 24 hours to make a decision. We have to respond immediately. And so this 1 second practice, I have found, and I'm sure, I'm sure many have found this 1 second practice very, very helpful.
And I love that you said that word practice, because I think that practice is the key to becoming more of a master of your thinking, which is the key to happiness. And, anybody here play a musical instrument? Okay. And what instrument do you play, my friend?
The harmonium.
The harmonium, you play the drum. And so did you just pick up a drum and start playing it? Or did you have to practice? Yeah. And I think that being a master of our mind takes practice. And how many of you go to the fitness center? Anybody, do you lift weights? Yeah. And did you start with the biggest weight? No. You start with little ones. And I think practice is that way too. That let's say you're at the checkout counter at the drugstore or at the grocery store, and you're interacting with a person behind the counter. You don't know them. You don't have any baggage with them. Are you interacting with them with patience and respect and cooperation and understanding? It's easy to do that with them. And when you're doing that, who are you serving? Yourself, yes. You're serving your own happiness. Because when you're thinking with those aspects of love, you are serving yourself. So don't miss those little opportunities throughout the day. You pass someone on the street, you give them a smile. Not for them, they get some benefit from it, but for you, most of all, because you're experiencing yourself as that loving being when you do that. And then the more you practice that, you can up the ante a little bit. Yeah, driving in traffic. Driving in traffic is a beautiful opportunity for all of us to practice thinking with love. Someone cuts you off, you can let them go with love. Not for them, for you. For you. So thank them for cutting you off because it gives you an opportunity to practice thinking with love. Yeah.
And also to think at that moment, maybe they're in a bigger hurry than I am. Let them go, and then let it pass. I want to add one
Okay.
little scenario to the checkout line. It might not just be with the cashier, but it might be a customer in front of you,
Yeah.
or maybe two or three in front of
Oh,
you.
yeah.
That is coupons, or in the store, how the story goes, or a senior and they're fumbling with all their coins, and we are losing it, three or four people behind, and so, or maybe it could be anything. What are we doing at that moment? How are we holding our peace? There's nothing that you could do, because you know what? The cashier is going to do what he or she has to do, right? Even if that line gets held up for a number of minutes, until probably somebody comes and say, come, next person, come here. But until then, so these are the things, everyday things that could take our happiness away, apart from the big stuff that you mentioned, relationships and worry and fear, and those are big things, illnesses. But these are everyday, moment by moment things that can just take our happiness away before we even know it.
So, what about those relationships? What about those friends, family members, co-workers who know just how to push our buttons? Okay, so maybe I don't have the strength at this moment to respond with all the aspects of love that I'm connected to. But at the very least, what I can do is observe the situation and observe how I'm feeling. And maybe the next time when that situation comes to me, I will have a little more strength to respond with love, not for them. Who am I responding with love for? Myself, because that's serving my own happiness. So, how do we build our strength to do that other than just the practice? And I think that meditation is one of those things. Don't you think, Sabita, man?
Definitely.
How does meditation help you build your strength to be more of a master of your mind?
Yes. Did you do that visit? I'm going to use today's experience, because it's very relevant, and you just had those experiences. The booth inside again under the big tent, the one on concentration. You know, when we're able to concentrate, then we can achieve better. When we concentrate, then we draw, right, the qualities of that into ourselves, or we tend to emerge what is within ourselves, right, to come up to the surface. So when we focus on our inner self with concentration, then whatever is within me will begin to emerge,
Gotcha.
will begin to surface, come up. And once that begins to emerge, what will go under? What is not me. So that goes under, and something else comes up. And if I'm smart enough, or I'm practicing enough, as Pradeep is telling us, I'll be able to hold that which is emerging, which is the real me. I will hold that in the container of my mind. Hold myself there. That is meditation, because the longer I begin to hold that energy, whether it's peace, whether it's calm, whether it is understanding, whether it is patience, whatever it may be that is coming up, when I'm able to hold it there in the container of my mind, the longer I hold it, the more I'm feeling it, because it's emerging. Doesn't mean I'm feeling it yet, right? It is when I hold it there, I begin to feel it. Now that holding power is what is called meditation. So one is allowing myself to go inward and connecting with my inner self and thinking of my good qualities, allowing that to emerge, and then holding it there and feeling that. That is meditation. Once I begin to feel that, now I can come back into the field of action and implement it. That's the challenging part.
Yeah. But the regular meditation strengthens our self to respond with that loving part of ourself. And I think that has a mechanism to do that in a few ways. One is it nurtures the awareness of the stillness within us. Regular meditation does. And with that stillness, it's like having space to make a choice about how we respond with our thoughts to what's happening in the world around us. Without that space, we're reacting. But with the space, that awareness of that stillness that comes from regular meditation, we have room to make that choice. And I also think that, just as Sabita said, when with regular meditation, the awareness of the truth of ourselves is more at the forefront of our mind. So we can be thinking from that place. And also, I think in a very simple way, regular meditation trains us to pay attention to our thoughts so we can be more intentional about the thoughts that we have. Yeah. So I'm noting we have a few minutes left. Would it be okay if we close with a little bit of meditation? Then we can answer some questions for you if you have them. And maybe we can persuade Sabita to take us to guide us in a little meditation. Yes? Yeah? Okay. All right.
So sitting comfortably, keeping both feet on the ground, sit up straight in your chair. And you can keep your arms on your lap, but just be comfortable, relaxed. And one of the most beautiful ways to relax the body and bring your mind into focus is some breathing. So let's take a couple of deep breaths in to bring our thoughts together and to relax our body. So take a deep breath in and release. One more time, take a deep breath in and release. And as you release, let your body relax. Let all the tension in your muscles melt away. Another deep breath in and exhale. And as the body relaxes, observe your breath in and out. And as you observe your breath, you also observe that your thoughts are becoming quieter as you become more present. All other thoughts of the world fade into the distance. All sounds are far away. And you are right here in this room, sitting on this chair. I now invite you to turn inward and connect with that beautiful part of your being, the eternal self that is seated on the center of the forehead, between the eyes, behind the eyes. This is your seat of consciousness. And as you concentrate on that beautiful energy, remind yourself, I am light. I am peace. Peace and light are who I am. And sitting in this peaceful place and contemplating on these beautiful thoughts, I realize that I can take this energy, this feeling out into the world when I go back onto the field of action, when I go back to my everyday activities. I invite you to keep your eyes open. Just open those eyes and bring in front of you one thing that you will be doing when you leave today. And observe yourself carrying out that activity. But this time, you are doing that being totally aware of yourself as a peaceful being, content, accepting, understanding, no matter how challenging it may be. But this is what I'm going to be doing. Observe yourself doing that or being that. And I would also like to ask you, what is it that brings a smile to your face? What is it that brings a smile to your face? What is it that make you feel joyful? Think about that. Bring it into your heart. And let your heart open. Be appreciative. Think of one more thing that you really appreciate and are grateful for in your life. Wonderful. I hope you all are smiling. Not many of you are smiling right now. But I hope when you think about things that you are grateful for, that it will bring a smile to your face and it will shift the energy inside of you. And when things become even more challenging and those things are not working, there is always the ultimate source that you can turn to. The one who is constantly stable and constantly giving, always available. You can turn to that one also. Open your heart and allow the light of the divine source to fill you with whatever it is you need to bring that smile back to your face. Okay? So take a deep breath in and release. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabita. That was lovely.
You know, each of these talks today is based, or most of them are based on a retreat that happened this year. These two were part of a pretty big team, right? 5-person team from all over North America who did this retreat on science of happiness. So all year long, for 25 years, Peace Village has been offering these kinds of retreats as a service to the public. And looking at you all today, I think you look happy. It makes me think of all those people who came to your retreat this year and had the benefit of that. So as you walk around Peace Village the rest of the day, just tell Peace Village how much you appreciate it for doing all these retreats all these years, because it's a really pure service, and these two are very pure servants. So much gratitude to David and Sabita. Thank you for a really nice afternoon.
Thank you. Can I say one thing before we close? I just want to mention, right, that the retreat that on happiness is we went into much more conversation and depth of what you felt today. So think about these things, and if you happen to be here, wonderful.